Samsung spent millions convincing you the S25 Ultra is the most powerful phone ever made. Billboards, launch events, influencer campaigns. The message was clear. This is the peak of smartphone evolution. But in 2026, 6 phones quietly slipped past it. Not with louder marketing, not with flashy slogans, but with raw advantages Samsung can't patch with a software update. The best one on this list scored over 4 million on Antutu, a number that would have sounded impossible just a few years ago. For context, the iPhone 17 Pro Max everyone camped outside stores for from Apple barely cracks 2.4 million. The Galaxy S25 Ultra lands somewhere around 2.8 to 3 million in real-world testing depending on thermal conditions and workload. That's not a small lead. That's not a marginal win you only notice in benchmarks. That's a gap you can actually feel. Faster app launches, smoother multitasking, higher sustained frame rates. That's a 70% performance difference. That's not an upgrade. That's a category shift. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. One of these phones lasts 50% longer on a single charge, not in some lab test with brightness turned down, but in real daily use with notifications, streaming, and gaming. Another can literally survive being used in the rain, in the pool, even under harsh conditions, and keep gaming without thermal throttling dragging performance down. One has a display so bright it almost feels like looking at a miniature HDR monitor, making outdoor use effortless even under direct sunlight. Another promises more years of Android updates than devices costing twice as much, meaning it'll still feel fresh long after most flagships slow down. One saves buyers over $1,000 while still looking more interesting than anything coming out of Seoul or Cupertino. And then there's the budget monster, a phone that delivers hours of non-stop gaming with no overheating, no throttling, no excuses, quietly redefining what affordable performance means. These aren't gimmicks. They're unfair advantages. And the companies behind them aren't trying to play Samsung's game anymore. They're rewriting the rules, focusing on endurance, cooling, efficiency, or value in ways that make traditional flagships feel conservative. Now let's break down the 6 phones Samsung really hopes you don't Google. At number 6, the Poco F7 from Poco proves that raw value still exists in a market that keeps pushing prices higher. This is the kind of device that quietly earns loyalty because it delivers exactly what power users care about. It scores around 2.1 to 2.3 million on Antutu, but numbers only scratch the surface. Pick it up and you immediately notice how responsive everything feels, switching between heavy apps, jumping into games, scrolling through social feeds without stutter. The AMOLED panel is smooth and vibrant, making long sessions easy on the eyes, while the battery keeps going long after you expect it to slow down. Fast charging means even if you do drain it, you're never waiting long. The camera isn't chasing awards and there's no official water rating, but that's not the point. The point is consistency, a phone that just works, hour after hour, without drama. At number 5, the CMF Phone 2 Pro from nothing brings personality back into a space that started to feel repetitive. In a world of identical glass slabs, this phone feels intentional. The design immediately sparks curiosity, subtle details, textures, and a sense that someone actually cared about how it looks and feels. Performance is more than capable for everyday use, handling messaging, browsing, streaming, and light gaming without hesitation. The display is bright and colorful, making content pop, while battery life easily carries you through a full day. It may not chase extreme benchmark numbers, but it wins by creating an emotional connection, a device that feels different every time you pick it up. At number 4, the OnePlus 15 from OnePlus is built around one philosophy: speed solves everything. And it shows. Apps snap open instantly, multitasking feels effortless, and heavy workloads don't slow it down. The high refresh rate display makes every interaction feel fluid, whether you're scrolling, gaming, or navigating the interface. Charging speeds are almost shocking. Plug it in for a short break and you come back to hours of usage. It's the kind of phone that fades into the background because it never interrupts you with lag or delays. The camera system is reliable, delivering sharp shots in most conditions, and while it may not be the most rugged device, it excels at being fast, efficient, and dependable. At number 3, the Find X9 Pro from Oppo feels like a marathon runner in a world of sprinters. Its massive battery changes how you think about charging. Suddenly you're not planning your day around outlets anymore. Performance remains strong even after long usage, and the display stays bright and clear whether you're indoors or outside. The camera system captures impressive detail, making it ideal for travel, events, or everyday photography. What stands out most is peace of mind, knowing your phone will still have power when you need it. Even under heavier workloads it maintains stability, proving that endurance can be just as important as peak speed. At number 2, the Vivo X300 Pro from Vivo pushes into true flagship territory with a benchmark score crossing the 4 million mark. This is where performance meets creativity. The camera system feels designed for people who actually create, whether that's shooting video, capturing photos, or editing on the go. The display reaches stunning brightness levels, making colors look vivid and lifelike, while fast charging keeps the device ready for whatever you throw at it. It feels like a tool as much as a phone, something you rely on, not just something you carry. Every interaction feels polished, from the smooth animations to the responsive touch. And then there's number 1, the Red Magic 11 Pro Plus from Red Magic, a device that doesn't just lead the charts, it redefines expectations. With a benchmark score around 4.1 million, it leaves traditional flagships behind and actually sustains that performance thanks to advanced cooling that keeps temperatures under control. Long gaming sessions feel stable, not compromised. The display is incredibly smooth, making motion look almost unreal, and the large battery combined with ultra-fast charging means you're rarely tethered to a cable. It's unapologetically built for power, a phone designed for people who push their devices to the limit. The camera is solid, though clearly not the focus, and the design proudly embraces its performance identity. Step back and look at the bigger picture, and something interesting becomes clear. These phones aren't trying to copy Samsung or Apple. They're exploring different priorities: extreme battery life, aggressive cooling, bold design, long software support, or unbeatable value. Instead of one definition of a flagship, we're seeing multiple interpretations of what a high-end phone can be. That shift matters, because it means the market is no longer defined by a single winner. It's becoming a landscape of specialized champions, devices built for gamers, creators, travelers, power users, or people who simply want the most for their money. And for consumers, that's a good thing. More competition means faster innovation. It means companies are forced to experiment, to take risks, to push boundaries. It means the next generation of phones will likely be even more ambitious. So now the question is simple. If you had to choose today, which direction would you go? Pure performance, unbeatable battery life, bold design, or all-around balance? Do you think Samsung still holds the crown, or is the gap starting to show as these challengers carve out their own space? Curious to hear your pick, because the smartphone race just got a lot more interesting.